on Thai ASEAN News Network.
We've talked to ambassadors at different events, whether it's a national day or international events, but it's not very common that you actually see another side of them in terms of personality. What do they do on their common day life? Well, we're actually here at the FCCT to take a look at some images that have been shot on a very special exhibition into the look of the casual life of ambassadors here in Thailand.
The FCCT, or the Foreign Correspondent Club of Thailand, is full tonight with people who are curious about ambassadors on what they do during their free time. Does that sound very paparazzi? Well, no, it's much more elegant than that, trust me. Supported by Fulbright's Thailand U.S. Educational Foundation, an artist was set out to capture a glimpse of the lives of 17 ambassadors based in Thailand.
Well, with me is Marcie Kunnawat, who is basically the person behind this whole exhibition of diplomats with their casual life. She is the photographer. Sadiha.
Sadiha.
Thank you so much for talking with us. First off, before we get to know about your art, we need to know more about you. So can you tell me what you do and what your interests are?
So basically I'm working at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and so I'm also a diplomat. Or I will become a real diplomat one day if I get posted abroad soon.
So you've been in diplomacy for a long time. So for how long?
5 years almost.
Wow, that's pretty long time. So what made you think that you wanted to do photography? I mean, you studied it before, or?
No, because in fact when I studied in France, I had like some artists friends a lot over there, and I discovered photography, and since then I started to take photos, mostly portraits and with models, beauty, etc. And I organized my first exhibition already in Bangkok at Base Sapulkak in like 2 years ago.
Wow.
This is my second one.
So you wouldn't really think of, a photographer being a diplomat at the same time.
Yeah.
Would you say it's like your hobby, or is it something that you takes very seriously as well at the same time?
Yeah, I never consider photography just like a hobby. It's my passion, it's my real me. And in fact, after my first exhibition, I used to work also for Bangkok Post to take photos for News magazine.
Okay, so you've done media before, so you probably know exactly what's going on here. So this project, how did it start? Whose idea was it, and how did you get into it?
It's Natapanu idea. So he came to me one day and he said, "Hey, why not we combine like our profession, being a diplomat, and your art, So this is the beginning.
So I understand it took like a year.
Yes, it took more than a year.
First off, why did it take so long?
Well, because as we work full day long, we have to make appointments to each ambassador and to meet the convenient times for both sides, and of course it has to be like after working hours, so it's kind of long.
So the thing is, when you think about diplomats, there's a certain definition which you're trying to show that it's like, of course, formal job. It's an important job, but at the same time you do have your life as well. So that's what your aim is, right?
Yes.
What would you like the people to know or see through your portraits? I mean, some of them are quite simple, but you know, for example, you have an ambassador just holding up a golf ball. What would you like to tell the people who are seeing these pictures?
Yes, well, we would like just to show them that diplomats, they are so human after all. So they are basically like every one of us. They have their hobbies, they have their children, their family, and we just want to show another angle of their life. You know, not just in the ceremony, blah blah blah. So this is just a simple idea.
Well, personally, last question from your own experience. What did you learn? Something that you didn't think that you were going to learn from this whole one-year project?
Well, I learned that I think that I get to make acquaintance with many ambassadors that maybe I haven't had a chance to meet them at all. You know, because for our work we could meet some of them, but not all of them. And it is like a great occasion to have a talk, to exchange experiences, and to give us some good advices for our career.
So it's like, you know, doing two things with one shot.
Yeah.
Right? You can get both great pictures and also great advice as well. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Also at the event was former Thai Foreign Minister Kasit Pirom.
Oh, with me is Kun Kasit Pirom, the Thai Foreign Minister, who's going to give us a little aspect, I guess, about how a diplomat is in the world. สวัสดีค่ะ
ครับ สวัสดีครับ Good evening.
Kun Kasit, it's really good to see you here tonight. Definitely, you are a diplomat. You have great experience in diplomacy. Tell us what the meaning of, you know, being a diplomat is, and being an ambassador.
Well, I think it's the diplomat is a person that has to convey and to communicate about his country to the host country, and vice versa, and at the same time to forge the relationships on the positive side of it, or the cooperative activities, and at the same time to solve some of the problems. But nowadays, I think diplomacy has gone a bit bigger than the question of security, trade, economic, and so on. Because, for example, for Thailand, there are Thai people living abroad. So to look after the Thai citizens abroad is something quite essential to our everyday work. Second, a lot of issues are cross-border. So a lot of time one has to make the report or make decision on the spot. So now I think diplomat is not only, I think, from the perception that it is quite aloof and static, but it's very much a part and parcel of the everyday life of ordinary people. And I think every diplomat must have his or her own private life. And I think the exhibition here give another side of the coin, that beside the diplomatic work, there is the personal hobby, cultural activities, and so on, which would, I think, reflect that we are all humans, although we are not in everyday life quite relaxed, because one has to represent one's country. So the work looks serious, looks so formal. But I think one always have the time to be oneself.
You know, some ambassadors, actually all the ambassadors were contacted by this project to see their lighter side, but some of them, of course, maybe prefer not to show their light side or their personal side. Do you think being a diplomat, there is a barrier between you and the others, how does it work? How do you balance that out?
I think one has to look at the present ambassador from the United States.
Oh, okay.
With her Twitter and Facebook and so on, and very outgoing. So in a sense, she is changing the face of diplomatic practices and the way of life, reaching out more to the people. So I think the cultural aspect of diplomacy, or the public diplomacy, has become more and more important, become part and parcel of the diplomatic work. So reaching out to the people is very important. So you cannot stay, secluded from your surrounding. there must be a sort of the linkage and the sense of participation.
Now, you know, a lot of the ambassadors that I speak to often say they're so happy when they get stationed to Thailand. They're so happy that they get to come to our country. What would you say is the unique thing about Thailand for ambassadors that are living here?
The openness of the society. I think a very high level of tolerance, and I think we have no inhibition. We have no prejudice against foreigners. I think the Thai society for hundreds and hundreds of years have been a society that always look out across the border. It never visioned itself as the enclosed middle kingdom and the world has to come to Siam or Thailand. It's always Siam or Thailand reaching out. So we have been able to adjust ourselves to the changing phases of globalization. And so anyone that comes to Thailand, you see that openness, the smiling face, easy going. And besides that, I think we have so many activities going on. And I think we have one of the richest cultural heritage. We have the natural beauty. So, and then the food is par excellence. I mean,
they come here, they can
so
go to
it's
the
a
beach,
combination
they can taste, they
of
can
things.
just smell, you
Right.
can just get involved and immersed in Thai culture.
Yes.
Last question, talking about the future, definitely Thailand is changing. We're changing to new governments. We may have fights, we may have friendships with other countries that are varying in different degrees at different times. What do you see for the future of diplomacy here in Thailand and how we deal, or diplomats deal with each other here?
Well, I think we have to make sure that foreigners or the embassies here do understand the going ons in Thailand, here in Bangkok, and at the same time all the Thai ambassadors abroad must be a bit more outgoing. Because of the changing paces inside the Thai society, the political landscape is changing. There is much more participatory politics in Thailand. So people usually visualize Thailand as a nice, smiling, a very welcome country and so on. But there are very deep social changes going on. And I think there is this important roads towards urbanization, expansion of the middle class. So we are becoming more and more modernized, more democratic. And sometimes the pace of changes create misunderstanding and confusion to a lot of people around the world. So it is incumbent upon us. I think the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the embassies abroad, should be able to explain to the changing phases and the complexity of the Thai society at this point in time.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your work.
ขอบคุณมากครับ
I talked to one of the main subjects of the exhibition on his picture. There are definitely lots of visitors. So, I guess the question would be, which picture was their favorite?
Well, with me is the Belgium ambassador, His Excellency Rudy. Sawadee-ka. Well, how did you feel about them contacting you? What did you think, when they asked, can we take a picture of you in your casual life?
I thought it was a fun idea. So I was right away enthusiastic for that, because young people, young civil servants from Foreign Affairs doing something out of the ordinary. So I like that. I kind of felt good about that.
You didn't think it was a little bit strange because, usually diplomats are very, formal. You go to events and...
Well, formal sometimes, but sometimes less formal, as you see. So it depends on the day and the hour of the day. And,
okay. Well, taking a look at your picture, it's very, very cute, one of you. I think it's very pretty. You're playing the piano.
Yes.
Well, whose idea was it? Was it yours to play the piano?
Well, it was one of the ideas. This is in my home here, my residence in Bangkok, and so there were several options. The garden, sitting and reading, but sitting and reading, I mean, not so active. And so, and I do like to play piano to cool down at the end of a busy day. It relaxes me. And so they said, well, why don't you play the piano? I said, but that's not gonna give a good picture. And they said, well, let's try. And then this was the outcome. I'm not so sure.
So did you have could you choose the picture that you wanted to display, or you just let them?
They picked the picture. I think they felt comfortable with it, and I did also. The whole idea was that it was their reportage of these young civil servants, these young colleagues, foreign affairs. They wanted to do something, they wanted to make the picture, and they wanted to show them to the bigger public. So yes, I still think it's a fun idea when I see all my colleagues here. I love it.
That's the fun part, right?
I love it.
You probably see something, hey, I didn't know that about you.
Yes, the Swiss ambassador playing the violin. I really didn't know she was a violin player. It's a picture on the other side, so I love it.
A lot of people were surprised about that as well. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, and thank you for letting us see a little part of your life as well. Thank you so much for coming out. Bangkok is definitely the place to be if you want to get a bit of the art and culture from both Thailand and also other cultures. Anyways, that about ends our program, but if you have any comments or suggestions for future programming, you can always email us at international@tannetwork.tv. Until next time, สวัสดีค่ะ